good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching this in the world. I hope you guys are doing okay. So today we've got two topics surrounding Tekken 8. One of them is regarding an update we've received from Harada regarding the pluggers and the cheaters, and another is surrounding a bit of controversy that has drummed up on Twitter. We're going to cover it and I'm going to give my thoughts on it because this was sent over to me, and it was actually sent over to me by two people, funnily enough. One of them was just laughing about it. The other one wanted my thoughts on it, and I thought it'd be good to cover on the channel, and then obviously we can open discourse in the comment section again. You guys let me know what you think about it. So there's a player here that goes by the name Blaze the Kid. Now I don't know if this is the guy that I know, if he's on my friends list. I'm not entirely sure. It might be a different guy. But he said, well, it's the transphobic piece of scum that walks the earth, Jason Elbow, in ranked on Tekken. His tag is proud transphobe. Insane this guy gets away with this. Hashtag #TA_report. Ban him. Most disgusting human being I've seen. And so as you can see there, that got 10.4 thousand views. So it kind of blew up. People were paying attention to it, and there was a bit of discourse that opened up in the comments section. He then tagged Harada saying, I don't ask for much, but racism and hate against other people should not exist on Tekken. And then Amy Lionheart responds saying, biases aside, stop abusing the hashtag due to your personal issues with someone. Unless he genuinely cheated using macros or plugging against you or others, the hashtag doesn't apply to here. This is extremely selective. Nobody's going to lose sleep over trolls online but you. Now before we go on to the other screenshots, I just want to stop it there. Like I said, this is an opinion based channel, so I'm going to give my opinion on what Amy has said here versus what Blaze the Kid has said. I'm actually in agreement with Amy. I don't think that you should be using the hashtag to report somebody because of their name. If you want to report somebody because of their name, simply put it on Twitter. The hashtag is already not working very well when it comes to the pluggers and the cheaters. As we've already seen, we don't need people cluttering it up with their personal vendettas and how they feel about someone's name. Now I understand the name might be upsetting to some people, just like when we covered the people that were taking the piss out of black people. That's upsetting to some people as well. I'm half black. I gave my opinion on that. Sticks and stones for me. I don't really care. My problem with Tekken and my priority is making it so that when I go on ranked, I don't get plugged or cheated on. I could care less what somebody is dressed as, and I could care even less what they are called. Now I'm not saying you don't do anything about it, but I definitely agree with Amy in saying that you have a personal issue with somebody has said something or presented their character in a way that you don't like, find other avenues to vent your frustrations or let Harada and the Tekken team know. It's not for the T8 report system. We have much bigger problems with the game not working as intended than somebody with a silly trolly name. Blaze the Kid says, so what is the tag to use for? Someone that has repeatedly been verbally abusive and has attacked other members of my team and even has a criminal record. I'd like to know this tag. Listen, Blaze the Kid, this is my advice to you. If this person has a criminal record and maybe they're doing things that are a little bit unsavory, either let the police know, because this sounds like it could turn into a police situation. You're saying that he's being verbally abusive. To what extent is he being verbally abusive? Who needs to get involved here? Personally, if someone's verbally abusing me online, do you know what I do? I turn the computer off or I stop looking at it on my phone. But if it's getting to the point where you feel like it's too much and someone's attacking your team members or attacking yourself, then maybe you need to get the authorities involved. It's not something that I would do, but I definitely don't think this is something that you need to put forward to Harada in the T8 report system. You can make people aware of this individual on Twitter so they ban their profile and they don't have to encounter them online. And when I say ban their profile, I don't mean ban it across the board. I mean you can go in there and you can suspend them from seeing you or some shit like that. I'm sure there's a system in Tekken 8 where you can block, that's the right word, block. You can block players, not ban them. I'm sure you could do something like that if it's really becoming a problem. I don't know how well that works. I haven't actually tried to block anyone properly yet, but there's that. Amy then replies saying, the tag is intended for cheaters and players who break the terms of service of said game. If he's still able to play, he hasn't really broken any terms of service. When you look up the tag on TWT, you'll see it's gameplay related over personal issues. Just block and move on. You won't be paired up with him. And once again, Amy is spot on. I don't really need to add anything to that. This is a gameplay problem. It's for the purposes of addressing the gameplay issues. If somebody is dressing a character up in a way you don't like, or they are with a name that you don't particularly appreciate, then find other avenues to report it. Don't clog up the T8 report when we already have issues with the game. Really bad issues with this game that is turning people off to the point that I'm playing it less and less. I'm kind of waiting for my character to come out, and I was in the mindset of, oh, I'll learn all the characters in the game, I'll get really sick at the game, I'll go online, I'll battle people, I'll get my rank up, because I don't like playing casual mode. I like playing rank, and unfortunately they've messed it up. So we don't need more people clogging up that report system when Harada's not even doing a good enough job with it in the first place. Keep your personal issues to yourself, and if you need to get authorities involved, get the authorities involved. Blaze the Kid says, it's not about blocking someone. You didn't answer my question about the tag. I'm trying to help others from people like this. I want to know what's the course of action that I can take to eliminate homophobic, transphobic, and racist people from the Tekken community. Blaze the Kid, let me give you some advice. You're not going to be able to accomplish that mission. None of us will. People are going to troll online in every single community. And yes, the developers and the studios can go and they can do something about it, but ultimately they will lose that battle because trolls come in all shapes and sizes and they come in swarms. It's almost impossible to stop them from trolling online. And most of these people that you encounter online with Nazi attire or saying homophobic, transphobic or racist things are trolling you. They're looking to get a response. You're giving them the response that they want. Now, I'm not saying don't say anything about it because I'm a big proponent of if you don't like something, say something about it. That's what this entire channel is based on. But I feel like you're fighting a losing battle here. First of all, Amy is right in saying that the TA report hashtag is not for this. Secondly, whilst I agree and say that you should stand up for something that you believe in, and if it's genuinely bothering you, do something or say something about it, what you're attempting to do is a losing battle. If you've been on the internet for more than 5 minutes, you are not going to be able to win this war. The best thing to do against these people is just beat their ass on the game or block them. Those are the only two real avenues. I mean, you can spend time reporting them, but one thing I've learned about Twitter is that when you complain about things like this, the trolls see that, they amplify. They're like the Termids or the automatons on Helldivers. You give them a little bit and they will take a mile. So listen, just get better at the game, beat them and block them and be on your way. That's the best way to protect people. If people are hurt by words, which, you know, that's a story for another day. It's not something that I get on board with. But if you are hurt by words, then block them. Amy replies saying, I want to know what the course of action that I can take to eliminate homophobic, transphobic and racist people from the communities, quoting Blaze the Kid. I want the war in the Middle East to stop, but you know, that's complicated and not likely to happen because of the way the world works. Again, I don't really need to add anything to that. Amy has pretty much nailed it on the head. They seem very tuned in and understanding how these sort of situations play out. It's not something that you can eliminate. We've had loads of topics covered by loads of different influencers and loads of different people on YouTube and celebrities and people that get on stage and talk about how to eliminate these problems. And the short answer is you cannot eliminate these problems. You can't eliminate evil just as much as you can't eliminate good. They are both going to exist, the yin and the yang, and that is the same for trolls. You can't eliminate them. So rather than losing sleep over people that say mean words, have mean names, or have problematic attires, if you want to use that language, just go about your day. It doesn't really matter. Like if I say something about you right now, I'm talking to Blaze the Kid, if I say something unsavory about you now, you can report me to YouTube and you can complain about it on Twitter and 10 other me's will pop up just because you put your voice out there to do that. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't do those things again, because like I said, if you see a problem, much like myself, if I don't like something, I talk about it. That's what I do on this channel. But I also think that you need to make sure that you are picking battles that you can actually make some headway in. I feel like I can make headway in this battle. I don't feel like it's costing me anything to do it. I think that if you're hurt by words and you want these people to stop, what you're doing is actually only going to amplify the situation. This is what trolls feed on. This is why I don't really get trolled very much online. And that's not an invitation to start trolling me, but I don't really get trolled much online because when people have reached out to troll me, A, I ignore them because I'll genuinely like sit there on Discord with my boys and have a laugh about it. B, I don't engage with them because I know if I do engage with them and my boys get involved, it's going to turn into a whole thing because they've all got big mouths and they have a lot of things to say that they shouldn't be saying online. We're both going to start trolling back, so it's not worth it. And C, I've got better things to do. I just don't care. Sticks and stones. It's just words on the internet. It's not like people are walking up to you and pointing in your face and doing these things. It's one of those things where you can keep it moving, bro. Blaze the Kid said, like I said before, I want to know what the tag is to properly report. If you can give me that information, it would be helpful. Instead, you are going a different direction with this. I don't think there is a tag. I think if someone's just saying mean things online, you kind of just put it online and hope for the best. You can let PlayStation know. I think PlayStation takes action against accounts that are doing things on their console that they shouldn't be doing. I think you can let Twitter know and see if they can do something there. I don't think the Tekken team can actually do anything about this. Amy replied saying, I answered your question while presenting my point. That's why there's indents in my sentences. Hashtag T8 report, like I said, is for in-game issues like cheaters, pluggers, or bugs. That is the second time I've said this. The tag is intended for cheaters and players who break the terms of service. So there, Amy's reiterating what she said previously. And again, I have to agree with Amy here. She's been very clear. I don't even know if this is a woman. I'm not too sure, but she's been very clear and concise about how you go about these situations. And I don't know if Blaze the Kid is not understanding that or not understanding the realities of what is going to come if he continues going down this road. He then replied saying, okay, so I used T8 report, but you are telling me to not because it's a personal vendetta. The question I asked was, what was the tag for something like this to report? What falls underneath the terms of service of Tekken? I'd like to know. Well, I don't think that's something that Amy really needs to explain to you. The terms of service for Tekken can be found on the game or somewhere on the website, or that's something that you can get in contact with the Namco team for. That's research you can do yourself. And then he's posted the person's profile here saying, here's all the info needed needed to report. So there you can see the individual's profile. So they've very carefully constructed the word so that it's got numbers in there, so it doesn't actually come up as what they're saying it is. The name obviously says proud transphobe, but they've put numbers in there to get around the system, which was always going to happen when you allowed people to make their own names. That's just what people are going to do online. I already knew this was going to be the case. I was aware of this back in the Soul Calibur days. People were doing much worse back then. Trust me, even the character customization was a bit more robust back then. They were doing far worse than what they're doing on Tekken right now. And then someone screenshot this saying computer zoom enhance, ready up homie, he wasn't done whooping you. So it seems like the King player, proud transphobe, beat KDQ in a match. Now I don't know if that is the reason that KDQ decided to post this on Twitter, if he's salty or not. I don't think so, although he has cancelled here, so you are a one and done individual and you did lose the match, so gotta take some brownie points away from you for that if I'm staying consistent with my own talking points. Then Professor Richard says, so dude's name is in bad taste, but most disgusting human being I've ever seen. Stop being such a drama queen, block him and move on. And that is a fair point. Now maybe you know this person in person and you have an actual history with them, and then that would give more credence to what Amy was saying. This is a personal problem. You should deal with this in your own time. I don't think it's something you should be putting on the TA report, and if you need to read the terms of service, you should go looking for that yourself. You don't really need other people to look at it for you. I Am Forever says, you guys look for any reason to just have people banned, kicked for a game they literally paid money to play. Tekken community is a bunch of pussies. Well, look, there's plenty of reasons to ban and kick people. I don't think that's one of them. Now, I know that might not be the answer some people want to hear because obviously the name isn't great. But like I said, I'm half black. You know, I have grown up around black people. My dad is black. And the people that are writing the things about black people, I don't care. I don't care. There's much bigger problems in the world. And there's much bigger problems than what they're saying or writing in their profiles about black people or trans people or gay people on Tekken. The primary issue on Tekken is the gameplay. Now, I'm not saying don't report it, like I said. Just to round off this topic before we get into the more important one, in my opinion, is speak up about it, but pick your battles. I think that is a losing battle. I think you just post it up, you tag Harada, you let them know that name is in there, and they can deal with it accordingly. Now, moving on from that, we're going to talk about something regarding the account suspensions. So a nice transition into the next topic. The Tekken Project account on Twitter has updated us with what they're planning to do moving forward, and Harada has weighed in on this and the community has also weighed in, and I'm going to give my thoughts on it as well because I am not too pleased with what I read. But I'll read it to you guys and obviously let me know what you think in the comment section below. So it says, we've suspended accounts involved in malicious and unauthorized activities with penalties ranging from temporary to indefinite bans for intentional disconnects, cheating, use of unauthorized mods or cracks, inappropriate customization or player names. Response to illegal play. If the results of the investigation indicate that the player is cheating, an in-game warning will be issued, and actions such as resetting related data and suspending the account will be taken during the upcoming maintenance. We will update you on the status of this matter as soon as we have more information. Now, before the community weighs in, and I'll read some of the replies to this update from the Tekken Project team, I'm just going to say that this is not good enough. This entire narrative has been around the law and lawsuits and how bans work. And I don't know if they're telling the truth or not. I'm inclined to believe they're not. I don't believe that you can get the law involved if you're breaking a game and someone bans you from the game. Now, I think it's fair to say if you ban their entire Steam account or their entire PlayStation account or Xbox account, then yeah, maybe there's more grounds for the case to move forward. But if you're cheating on a game and you hold a suspension or a ban for a period of time, I don't think you can take Namco to court for that because it's in the terms of service to not do these things. They outlined this in the Tekken World Tour when they said that people were playing the closed network test or the closed beta ahead of time, you will be banned from entering the tournament. I don't understand why that's any different, but I'm going to explain to you and I'm going to break these down one by one and tell you why I don't think this is good enough. Intentional disconnects. You're going to ban people for that. No problem. Cheating, use of unauthorized mods or cracks. You want to ban people for that? No problem, up to you. Inappropriate customization. I'm assuming you're talking about all of the people that have been customizing the girls and giving them bigger breasts and exposing them. I'm just like, whatever, I don't care, man. That is not even on my radar. I find them quite humorous and that's not a massive deal to me, but it's their game at the end of the day. If they want their characters presented in a certain way, by all means. My problem with this is nowhere in this does it say we are going to give them a loss and we're going to give the victor a win. Nowhere in this does it say that we're going to deduct points from them and add points to the victor. No mention of it whatsoever. You've done half the job. This is not good enough. This is not good enough. It does not solve the problem for me. There are no laws around you taking points from them and giving them to me if they disconnect. The only argument you can make for laws is if you are outright banning people, and to be honest with you, as far as I can see, most people are not even asking for that. If that's something you want to do in your own time for the integrity of the game and the leaderboards, more power to you. But if you want to tackle the law, go ahead and do it. But why are you not giving us our points? Now, I know why you're not doing it. I think I've figured it out. Not only is it the Tekken shop, but there are so many pluggers in this game to the point that I played, and I counted yesterday, I played 17 matches. Of those 17 matches, 11 people plugged me, and I have the footage, which I will be uploading at some point. It might even be in this video. I can't remember if I put it in here at the time, but I will be uploading it and I'll be putting it on Twitter. 17 matches, and it happened that many times. What that tells me, based on my experience and based on the experience of other YouTubers, I've watched Arsenal's videos, I've watched King J's videos, I've watched other YouTubers, I've watched the main man. Everybody's experiencing the same thing. What it tells me is that a large number of your player base are pluggers. A large number. And so it stands to reason that you don't want to take away their points because you don't want to break the goodwill with them. Because if you break the goodwill with them, they're more than likely not going to go on ranked. That means they're more than likely going to go to another game, which means they're more than likely not going to buy your DLC characters or the costumes in the shop. See, what I think is happening here is they are appeasing the pluggers because the pluggers may very well be the overwhelming majority of players. I think the pluggers outweigh the honest people. I genuinely think that now. It happens way too much and way too often. To the point where when I do a rager at the end of the round, I sit there, arse cheeks clenched, because I'm wondering, are they going to plug on me again? And it happens almost every time. That is the ultimate mix-up. It's the infinite Tsukiyomi. They do a rage art, the game disconnects. It happens almost every single time. I want you guys to remember what I say here. Mark my words. They're going to fix this plugger problem, but they're going to fix it later down the line. And the reason they're going to do that is they're going to squeeze as much playtime and money out of these people that are playing Tekken in its first year, because we all know games lose player bases after the first year, and Tekken's already lost a fair amount according to the active players website. Apparently they've lost about 220,000, which is not good. That's not a good number. I was completely off. I was thinking to myself, they're not going to lose more than 10,000. 220,000 is an insane number as well. It's half of what Mortal Kombat lost, so it's not nearly as bad, and it hasn't sold as much, so it's not terrible, but 220,000 is still a large number. Now, I don't know if that is just because general gaming retention rates tend to be very difficult and there's a lot more options these days, or if it's because the rage quitting situation is directly attributing to it. Now, I'm sure people would have picked up Tekken because it's a brand new game, it's got a story mode, and then when they're done with that, like, I don't really need to go online, and they drop it. I'm sure that happened, but this cannot be helping. So what I think is going to happen, and mark my words, is they're going to fix this problem, but they're going to squeeze every little penny they can out of people for the DLC. And when they finally realize that enough people have dropped off and it's sort of normalized, then they're going to fix it. This all comes down to money as far as I'm concerned. I believe we are outnumbered. I believe the pluggers are running the asylum. But we're going to let the community weigh in on this, and I'll read you Harada's response as well. So Alpi says, just make the quitting count as losing. It's really not that hard. Daniel says, that's good, but we need some automatic protocol to regulate ranked disconnects, wins and losses, regardless of reports. This person says, you literally did nothing. Just give them a loss and call it a day. This person says, why is it so impossible to implement a system to punish players that disconnect during ranked? Marco says, for fuck's sake, just make disconnection count as a loss. Bet all the actual cheaters are still not banned, and some people with mods will be kinda sad. And this person comes back and says, actual moron developers, man, it's not like it's even worth memeing about anymore. This person says that they're retards and they should just implement a system that punishes pluggers. And I agree with all of you guys. All of you guys, I'm on your side. What they are doing with Tekken is nothing short of shambolic, and it's honestly flabbergasted me. I am bamboozled. I cannot believe what I'm watching. It's such a simple fix. They cannot be that money hungry that they're willing to risk the integrity of their game. Harada, your leaderboards are fraudulent, whether you ban people or not, and the banning isn't even working. But we're going to read a statement from Harada here, and then we'll get onto a few more screenshots. He says, we have taken the following actions to suspend accounts up to and including indefinitely of users who have engaged in the following malicious and unauthorized play. 2 types of ban were implemented: permanent ban and time limited ban. Intentional disconnection, cheating and cracking or using inappropriate mods, inappropriate customization or player name settings. Additional measures will be implemented during March to expand the scope of coverage. This action will target users who have been found to be in violation of the end user license agreement after receiving numerous in-game calls. Do you know what I find funny? All of this lawsuit talk has been around bans and suspensions, but they're very quick to jump on leaks when people want to do that. Like Moonsault Slayer was apparently going through a whole situation on his YouTube channel where Namco was striking him for leaking things. Now, I don't agree with leaks. It's not really things that I want to cover. I've seen a couple leaks for Tekken 8. I saw the leaks originally. I never put them on my channel. And I have covered leaks before, but after a while I started to think, I'm not really into doing this whole leak thing. So I sort of stepped away from that. But Namco were very quick to attack his channel. They were very quick to put bans on people that had the closed network test. And they want to go down this ban route, even though they're the ones saying that it's a bit more of a complex situation and we can't just ban people. And yet the community are telling you, we don't care if you ban people, give us our wins, and you are completely ignoring what people are saying. And then this individual, rightfully so, points out, how the hell is Faribuzz still there? This guy has been notoriously cheating since Tekken 7. Hell, he might have even been doing it since Tekken Tag 2. I'm not entirely sure, but he's still there. He's ranked number 2. What is going on? You can't even implement the systems you are talking about properly and effectively. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And then this person says, just change the system. If they disconnect, they will lose and we win. That's the simple solution. This person also says, will we also have problems if in the middle of a game we disconnect to make other sudden plans such as going to eat and things like that? Wait, okay, stop, hold on. Why are you eating in between a ranked game? Don't play. Do you know what? Yeah, these are the people that annoy me. Everybody else's tweets I was on board with until I got to this one. If you've got food in the oven, why are you playing ranked? Wait for your food to finish, eat it, and then come and play. What is with these people that are like, oh, I've got my dog here, or I've got my kid here, and I'm playing ranked, so I have to disconnect? What are you talking about? Why are you playing PlayStation when you've got other responsibilities? Go and take care of business, and then come back. That's not a reason to plug. You can't disconnect over a reason like that. You shouldn't be playing the game. What happens if you crash? I regularly crash on Fallen Destiny and I don't want to be penalized because of it. Then buy a better system. Buy some better hardware. How is that our problem? If your PC can't handle Tekken 8, buy a PS5. You just pop in the disc, you ain't got to do anything. You ain't got to worry about upgrading. You ain't got to worry about optimizing anything. The PS5 does everything for you. It's no one's problem if your system can't handle Tekken. Yes, you should be penalized. You shouldn't be wasting people's time if you are playing a game where your system can't handle it. Why is that my problem? If you purchase the game, have the equipment to run it. And then this individual says, out of 100 games, I had a plugger 27 times. I counted. People also don't rematch because there's no benefit for winning twice, especially not if they're a higher rank. Fucking fix it. Those were 27 games which came down to round 5, sometimes even a rematch, and they plugged on losing second. And I completely understand the anger there because it is wasted time. Time is precious, correct? And if we spend it playing your game, which you should be honored, first of all, because even though you provide us with a good game, there are thousands, millions of games out there that we could be spending our time on. We choose to spend it on Tekken because the product, for the most part, is worth it. But this is dragging it down, and your absolutely ridiculous responses to this are putting people off. You're putting me off playing the game just because your responses are so bad. If people are asking you to just give a simple fix, like give me my points, if you don't want to take points away from them because you are too worried about them not spending in your store, then give me my points. I mean, clearly you don't care about boosting enough if you're allowing pluggers to run around. They are essentially boosting. This is another form of boosting. If I plug continuously and lose no points and I only go through the match when I win, I am essentially boosting. It is another form of boosting. So all of this is bogus. Steven says, why has this become the main topic of discussion when talking about people who plug? You're skipping to the ultimate punishment, which is fine, solved, but also why don't disconnection drop count as a loss? There's supposedly a way to tell who disconnects, right? Give them a loss. And that's the last screenshot I decided to grab from the whole talk on Tekken. And it really is just absolutely ridiculous that Harada, Michael Murray, and the rest of the Tekken team have taken this approach. Every other fighting game, including Mortal Kombat, has been able to get this part of the game right. And yet Tekken, the one that we say is the best, most people are agreeing, yeah, Tekken, in terms of gameplay and features, this is the best one, next to Street Fighter. This is where you mess up. In the most simple way that you can fix it, this is where you mess up. It's genuinely infuriating. I would love to ask them why they're doing this. Why won't you just give us our points or take theirs away? What is the reason? The reason to me is because of money, because the abundance of players on Tekken right now are pluggers. The reason that plugging is so prevalent in Tekken and not Street Fighter is that while Street Fighter is hard, nothing really compares to the complexities of Tekken, and that is my honest opinion. This game is already frustrating to play anyway because it's very difficult, so it's already annoying when you lose. lose. But it's one of those annoying things where it's like, okay, the game's really good, so I could probably do something here. And that's not for every character in the game. There's some really dumb characters in the game, like Devil Jin with his heat. That is basically like a shotgun. Main man said it best. It's like he has a shotgun in his hand when he goes into heat, and he can literally just walk up to you and kick you in the balls. You press anything and that Psycho Crusher will get you. But across the board, there are normally ways to deal with things. And so whilst it can be frustrating because the game is very difficult, it is a frustration we willingly accept. We do not accept this frustration and the way Harada and the Tekken team are handling it. I don't care who you want to ban. None of the players care. No one gives a shit. I mean, it's not even working. Faribos is still there and it's 10 years down the line. So clearly you guys are not doing a good enough job. What you need to do is give us our points for the last fucking time. Just give people their points. It's not that hard, Harada. It cannot be that hard. If the dummies at NRS can do it, why can't you? You're better than them. Just fix the problem, dude. Jesus Christ.